It's incredible to me that despite how bad Justin Trudeau looks set to do in the 2025 federal election, Jagmeet Singh and the NDP could do even worse. And I don't just mean that by seat count or percentage of the vote. Obviously, as a smaller party, they're not going to do as well as the Liberals. But in a relative sense, the NDP is gaining nothing from the fact that the Liberals are bleeding support all over the place. I'll just bring up a chart right now. This is one of the recent polls that came out showing that the Conservatives were up about 9 points over the Liberals. The NDP is only at 17% of the support. That's literally them losing support from the 2021 election. The Liberals are doing about 4 or 5 points worse than their 2021 election results in this poll, and the NDP has picked up none of that. They've lost some of what they had, and it's because Jagmeet Singh is a walking contradiction that the Canadian people cannot square. He's the guy who's supposedly holding Justin Trudeau to account. At the same time, he only rubber stamps everything he does. He's the guy who's supposedly standing up for workers. At the same time, he supported vaccine mandates, and he really seems to be a party leader who only wants to represent workers who, are semi-white collar and work in HR. He doesn't actually like blue collar workers. He doesn't like their values because blue collar workers tend to be much more socially conservative people. So Jagmeet Singh is this guy, who opposes big business. At the same time, every single solution he has to a problem is to raise taxes, which only leads to further corporate consolidation. He's not someone who basically serves the interests of nobody but campus socialists, but campus club NDP people who are full of ideals and full of ideals and socialist rhetoric, but have no real world experience to know that the solutions he's pitching do not work at all. So the Canadian people just see Jagmeet Singh as kind of a whiner. He's the type of guy who goes on to video game live streams with AOC from the U.S. and Ilhan Omar, and doesn't actually seem to speak to the plight of workers in Canada. Pierre Poilievre from the Conservatives is doing a far better job because he understands that those people actually do have their own values and they don't just want woke values shoved down their throats. That these people actually, don't just don't hate the businesses they work for and want the businesses they work for to succeed. They want their own taxes cut, and they'd rather, do things for themselves than have the government do everything for themselves. Like Pierre Poilievre is offering a actual narrative of personal liberty and self-determination, where Jagmeet Singh basically offers this idea of the government like taking care of you. You go to work for a few hours a day, and then the government takes care of the rest, which is a very, to a certain extent, pathetic vision of how life should be lived. But this is where Jagmeet Singh is not attracting anybody. Nobody really likes his anti-value social narratives. People don't like his economics. And at the end of the day, the one thing he could do very easily, which is hold Justin Trudeau accountable, actually force investigations of his scandals, is never going to get done because Jagmeet Singh lacks backbone. He could have all the dumb positions he wants on all the issues, but if he at least demonstrated that he can actually, stick his finger in Justin Trudeau's chest and make him do what he wants, or make him actually, get him like open up investigations into his government over, the CCP interference stuff or all the other scandals involving, the We Charity and whatnot. Because Jagmeet Singh bent on all those things, Canadians do not believe that he would actually deliver on any of his policies, which to a certain extent would be a good thing because his policies are terrible. So not only are the Liberals losing polling position, the NDP are too, and the Conservatives are absolutely eating their lunch. There's a lot of undecideds in this sort of upcoming election, and I really do not see these people either going back to the Liberals or going to the NDP. They're just sort of the same, different side of the same coin, and both of them are effectively just saying the policies that failed in the past can work now if we just do the policies more. Where the Conservatives are actually offering a vision of the future of, wouldn't it be much better if we went in this direction, not just say, guys, just keep following the direction we've set. It's looking bad, but maybe we'll get out to the other side of these terrible policy effects, and everything will become utopia if we just persist with them for longer. People do not care about sacrificing their well-being for government priorities. They'd rather the government actually serve the individual priority and let individuals spend their own money for a change and let their individuals raise their own families than have the government constantly sort of in their backyard. But I'll leave that there for this video. If you can donate to my Give, Send, Go for my legal fundraiser, that'd be fantastic. I'm in a big lawsuit with some Chinese billionaire. I'm currently beating him. He actually had to pay me money in court not that long ago because they weren't even filing their evidence on time. But I've already had to pay $15,000 into this lawsuit, and I do not generate pretty much any money from doing these videos and writing articles and whatnot. It's more of just a passion project of mine. So if you can support me there, that'd be great. Or if you could go onto the National Telegraph's website, I'll have a link in for both the GiveSendGo as well as the website, so you can sign up for emails on the website so you can stay in touch with the National Telegraph while Bill C-18 is effectively shutting down Canadian news on social media platforms like Google and Facebook.